Welcome to Strange Planet. We're in October, Halloween time. It's time to talk about Halloween. And I'm not just talking about the holiday, I'm talking about the movie. Recently, I found out something that, in my opinion, was disturbing. I was doing my podcast with my buddies Alex and Pablo from Wide Range Media. I'll put the link below. And we talked about how John Carpenter said in a recent interview that the new Halloween movie that's coming out next year in 2018 is not going to acknowledge the 1981 sequel to the 1978 classic. We're talking about Halloween 2 that came out in 1980 or 81, I believe. When I found that out, I was like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. I find that to be a problem for a couple reasons. One, I really like that movie. That, out of all the Halloweens, next to the original classic, which was awesome, right? I gave that one 5 coffee cups. I gave Halloween 2 5 coffee cups as well. Like, it was the best. I would watch that movie late at night every Halloween time, especially on Halloween itself. And it has such a creepiness to it. It had like this dark aura about it, you know, that forget about it. It was the perfect movie to watch on a late autumn night. Like, forget about it. It was awesome. And now to find out that this new movie, which is supposed to be, I knew this was going to be a direct sequel. It wasn't going to acknowledge any of the other films, 4, 5, and 6. It wasn't going to acknowledge H2O, Resurrection. Resurrection was horrible. Halloween 6 was horrible. I mean, they've tried to, rejuvenate this series quite a few times throughout the years, and to no avail. Even Rob Zombie took a whack at it. And even though I did like his remake, the second one that he did, no. But now we're talking about Halloween 2. I mean, 1981 Halloween 2. I love that movie. I love the way it starts. It takes place at the same night as the events of what happened in Haddonfield, Illinois in 1978. It tells you so in the beginning of the film, right? And then when the credits start rolling up, you see this big menacing pumpkin with the cool music by John Carpenter and Alan Howarth. This guy, Alan Howarth, got an autograph from him a while back. Awesome dude. Soundtrack's amazing. It's eerie. It's scary. And the opening credits were amazing. I love how the way the pumpkin would break open and you see a skull inside. And it was like just creepy. And the music would just keep on going. And the camera would slowly just keep going into the pumpkin towards the skull. The audience knew at that time that they were in for a movie of horror. The best part of the movie, in my opinion, was like towards the end, when Michael Myers was chasing Laurie all over the hospital. By the way, who usually has a hospital that empty at night anyway? Is that how it really was back then? Nobody was around? In any case, it still added to the creepiness. It added to the aura of and spirit of the film, which was definitely dark when it was scary. Scary for its time. And then Laurie's banging on the window, trying to get in. Help me. She, creeping out. And then Dr. Loomis is inside, and he lets her in, and they're trapped. And Michael Myers, what does he do? He walked through a pane of glass as if it wasn't there. That was awesome. Dr. Loomis shot off some rounds into him. He fell. The cop told him he was dead. Dr. Loomis was like, no, he's still breathing. Guess what? He was still breathing. And then Michael Myers continued his pursuit. I'm telling you, this was a creepy, great movie. And I liked how it ended. I mean, let's be real. It ended with a huge explosion. And I get it. They kind of want to, humanize Michael Myers a little bit more by not having him have survived the explosion the way he did for Halloween 4 or 5, for the other films that were direct sequels to it. I get it. But I wish they didn't take it out. I wish they wouldn't ignore that. Because that movie, I felt like it was one with the other. It's like taking The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, and going straight to Return of the King and ignoring the Two Towers in between. You just don't do that to a classic. So it's a problem, in my opinion. I think it's a problem. Look, I know it's John Carpenter that's doing part of the producing or whatever he's doing. He's doing something with it. He's involved. I'm excited that he's involved when he was the one who created Michael Myers. You know, he was the one who began the franchise. And though he made it clear he didn't care too much about all those sequels they made throughout the years, it's refreshing that he's coming back into it to help in some way. And Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back to reprise her role as Laurie Strode. That's the other thing about this. The whole thing about Laurie being Michael Myers' sister was not revealed in the first film in 1978, which this new movie is going to be coming out a direct sequel from. No. It was revealed in Halloween 2, 1981, that Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister. It was that conversation that Dr. Loomis had with his friend nurse in the car as they were leaving town, when he found out, when she let him know that a file was opened that day because of what happened that night, that Laurie Strode was his sister. Dr. Loomis was able to immediately put the pieces together and make that cop turn that car around real quick to head to the hospital to save her. How are you going to ignore that? Now, there's two ways they could go about this, from my thinking of it. One, they'll just come across it as if Laurie was never Michael Myers' sister. They'll just eliminate that angle completely, which will be kind of a drag. It's become such a staple in the franchise. Or they'll reveal it in this movie, like it's the first time. Not that people are going to be like shocked. So let's say they don't even mention it at all, right? So that means one thing. What happened between the nights of 1978, and if we're going literally to 2018, all these years later, Laurie Strode is older. She's in her middle ages now. She probably has a family and all that. How are they going to connect that? They better be doing some really good writing to make this fit. Plus, what was Michael Myers doing all these years? Okay, we saw what happened to him at the end of Halloween 1. Dr. Loomis shot him 6 times. He fell out the balcony of the house. He saw him on the ground lying on the grass. He turned to Laurie to speak to her. He turns back. He's gone. Now, Halloween 2 kind of was able to give a segue to that. But now that that's not going to be part of it anymore, how are you going to... What are they really going to do about this? They what did Michael Myers do all these years? We're talking about like 40 years ago or something like that. What he checked into some real estate trends somewhere in Malibu or whatever. What did he do? All these years. He had a normal job. He was a normal guy. And then all of a sudden it zapped him again. All these years later, he decides to go back to Haddonfield to kick butt. I don't get it. The writing better satisfy me, because I'm telling you, I will rip that joint apart here in a review. Because John Carpenter created the franchise, I'm going to give him the benefit of a doubt. I'm going to trust him. It's like, okay, dude, if you're going to really go on a clean slate like that, then let's make it really good. Make us happy. Make us Michael Myers fans proud. I'm a John Carpenter fan. I freely admit, I love John Carpenter's films. Not all of them. Some of them weren't very good. In my opinion. I was like, well, dude, what are you thinking? But The Fog, The Thing, Mouth of Madness, Escape from New York. He didn't direct Halloween 2. He directed the first film, but he produced Halloween 2. Rick Rosenthal directed Halloween 2, and he did a good job in it because I still loved it to this day. Dick Warlock played Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, when people see the ending credits, you see something said, The Shape, Dick Warlock. Well, guess what? The Shape is Michael Myers. They called him The Shape. I don't know why they called him The Shape. What do they mean by a shape? Like a rectangle or something? No, they called him The Shape. Dick Warlock was a cool dude. He signed a picture right here. Happy Halloween. So what are your thoughts about John Carpenter's decision to cut off Halloween 2 from the timeline between the first film and the new film coming out next year? Talk to me. Comment below and share with me your thoughts about this strange occurrence. And you know what? Since we're in October, we're going to keep going with more Halloween trivia in the next couple of episodes between now and Halloween itself. So until next time, this is Ralph Perez, Strange Planet NYC. Take care.